let me know. So for everyone's benefit, I want this to be kind of like a review session. Everything that has to do with money-making activity is a building block. It depends on how much and how fast you want to get to where you're going. So the number one thing that you must have is product knowledge. If you know your product, okay, you are going to be that much more confident when you're speaking with buyers, or you are going to be able to meet someone at an open house and speak to them about 5 other properties that are in the area. A lot of times we have tunnel vision when we are doing real estate, okay? So someone comes in, could be myself, could be Talia, could be any trainer that you're watching or anyone that you're following. You got to prospect. So then we get tunnel vision on prospecting, and we only do the same thing over and over and over, which that's good, right? But how can we leverage that? So let me use open houses, for example. Open houses forever and ever and ever have been the best way for you to gain market knowledge. You want to write that down. You must have market knowledge. You're only as good as what you know. I'm only as good as what you know. If I come here and talk to you guys and I start stuttering and I start I don't knowing and I start umming and I start, hesitating, I'm sending you a message, right? I'm sending you a message. As you guys have questions, I want you to drop them in the chat and I'll answer them real quick at the end. And I hope you come up with questions, because that is the best way for me to guide and lead you. So I say that to say this: product knowledge is the only way you're going to boost your confidence. It's the best thing you can have in this market, because you are in real estate to provide a service and deliver a product to a human being. And if you are doing an open house, and I know you guys are, kicking butt with open houses, but talk to me about that neighborhood. Talk to me how many doors around that neighborhood you have visited, or you have sent, door hangers to, or you have, put a flyer on the door, or you have called. I mean, there's so many ways to find phone numbers for people. We are living in the digital era. Everything could be found. So if you're not doing open houses, you need to do open houses, but you need to do open houses on a mission. That means that you need to know the neighbors. You need to go a day or two before for 1 hour. Listen, in 1 hour, if it's a dense area, you're going to get to visit at least 40 doors. That means you show up, you knock, nobody opens, you leave a door hanger, you go to the next one. It takes 1 hour to do 40 doors. Now, if you walk really slow, like I know, I walk fast. Some people walk like one leg is asking the other leg, like they're just like tired. Put some energy behind it. Get enthusiastic, get in state. Pretend like you're, in the field, ready to play your best, game. So 1 hour, you can really hit 40 doors, okay, if you walk fast. And you're going to get to talk to at least 10 people. It takes 40 doors to talk to 10 people. Now, you are in real estate. That means that you are a business owner. Your real estate practice is your business. And business owners know their numbers. So write that down. No judgment, no condemnation, no blame shifting. But if you don't know your numbers, that means you've got an area that you need to strengthen. So if you're doing open houses, you should know people in that neighborhood already. They should know you. They should know when you're going to be there next. There's no law that says you cannot stop by and say, hey, how are you? My name is Lucy. By the way, I've been holding an open house right around the corner for the last 3 weekends. I haven't had a chance to meet you, but I wanted to introduce myself and I hope you stop by. I would love to get to know more about you. And actually, you're going to enjoy, taking a look at this home, and I'll share everything that you'd like to know about that home. And by the way, how long have you lived here? Oh, we've been living here for 5 years. Oh, great. Where did you move from? Oh, well, we moved from the East Coast. That's awesome. And what made you pick this area? Well, we picked this area because of the schools, because of the, because it's not as congested as the East Coast. Wonderful. So let me ask you, do you have any friends, know any relatives, know any coworkers from the past, know any, acquaintances that would love to come and live in your area? I mean, your job is to look for people and talk to people. My job is to look for people and talk to people. Last week, I put my head down. I got 2 witnesses right here. Lucy personally put her head down. I worked for 6 hours straight, contacting, calling, texting, messaging people. And the results have been exponential. And I did it one day. But I did it intentionally. I didn't just call and leave a message. I called, I left a message, and then I texted them. And then after that, I've done a gazillion postings about it. And then after that, I've done more postings. And then after that, I did more postings. And I'm like, you know what? We got to blow it up. So my message is, if you want to make money sometime next year, you can go really slow. Take your time, don't rush. Don't get, too massive into the action. But if you're looking to make money in the next 90 days, it's going to take massive action. So on the 14th, and I don't want anybody to answer this, but on the 14th of April, my recommendation was preview 5 properties per week, every week. You don't need permission. You jump on the MLS, you pick the price point, you pick the area, you call the agent, you say your name. Actually, you don't even have to call the agent. You can do it on Showtime, and you just put on there, I want to preview this property. So my question is, how many properties have you consistently previewed on a weekly basis? My recommendation was 5. That means that in 4, you should have already looked at anywhere between 20 to 25 properties. So I'm just reminding this because what I want to do is extinguish the mindset of there's no business. I'm making no money. I have no deals. Well, the question is, how much intentionality are you putting into getting the deals, right? So one of the things was visit 5 properties per week. That's what you need to do. You could do that in 2 hours. It only takes 1 day a week, and you can do it in 2 hours. I mean, we're not talking about working 60 hours here. We're talking about in 2 hours, you can preview 5 properties. You can even go and talk about those properties without giving the address, without giving, too much information. For example, you could go on your social media and say, hey, I've got a terrific 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool on a canal for $475,000. If you are interested in having a private preview of this property, reach out to me. My job is to activate you guys. My job is my responsibility. It's not a job, it's a responsibility. My commitment is to activate you guys and give you things that are going to help you ignite your potential. Right? So you don't need anybody's permission to go promote a property criteria or a property profile. I'm not telling you to go put the ad, or you cannot put the ad. I'm not telling you go take the listing and share it. I'm telling you to become the voice of authority and expertise and say, I've got a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, brand new home, 3-car garage with a pool on the canal for $475,000, for $599,000. If you are looking for this type of home, reach out to me. I would love to schedule a private, no obligation consultation with you and bring you out and show you the property that you are just going to fall in love with.
Okay, Lucy, and then are you referring to a listing that you saw? Somebody
One of the
else's
5
listing?
properties that you're previewing. Yes, you need to go preview property because
Well,
that's
no,
the thing.
I preview a whole bunch every day because I already have them automatically coming to me in email, so I don't even have to go on the MLS and do all the search. But I mean, I do preview them, but I didn't know if we can post them in any which way on Facebook since it's not our listing.
No, you cannot do that. So I'm glad that you mentioned this. Property previewing means you schedule a preview on Showtime and you physically go to the property.
Oh,
You
physically, okay.
walk it, you look at it, you learn about the product, you step into it so that you can absorb everything the property has to offer. So I'm glad that you are helping me clarify this. And
So
that's why,
physically go,
yes, that's why you go on Showtime
yeah,
and you schedule a preview of the property and you physically go. That's why it's going to take you 2 hours to do 5 properties. It's going to take you 2 hours to do 5 properties.
okay.
And you can do that once a week and you will have content for every day of the week. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, there are 8 top producers are going out to preview properties and they're doing property showcases. You cannot show the address. You cannot market the actual property, but you could do a property showcase of walking the property. There's agents that are going out there and doing property showcases on brand new constructions.
Mhm.
Here's a brand new construction listed for 375,000 in Northeast Cape Coral. It's got walk-in closets, it's got Roman bathtub, it's got high ceilings, it's got light and airy, open concept. Call me for information. You have to become ruthlessly bold in just
Mhm.
marketing what you do. When you guys are out there going on listing appointments, pop out your phone. Now, you may not like videos, so it's just like when the internet came out, right? A lot of people didn't like videos, or we were actually at the open house. If you're going to do a live, you've got to be on there for 15 minutes minimum. Otherwise, the algorithm is not going to be at its highest, right? So you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? So at the beginning, it's very challenging, but you need to know it's at least 15 minutes, right? For the algorithm to really boost itself and get the message out there. Plus, they gauge how much time people are on live because they want to, they want to have content that's now if you're just going to do something short, then just do a story. But if you're going to do something a little longer, do a reel. But if you're going to go live, it's 15 minutes. So yes, this is actually property previews, going out to the property. Then we talked about doing your Zillow homework, just so you see how, you know, um, consistent Zillow people are in following up. We talked about activating, right, your
Mhm.
sphere of influence or center of influence. And that was last month on the 22nd. I don't know how many of you have activated your people. If you've done everyone, if you haven't, I'm not here to tell you how to run your business, but I am here to tell you what you should be doing to run your business like a business. So I'm not here to tell you how to run your business, but if you are wanting to make money, this is what it's going to take. Then we went over a little bit about the rent to own program. We already have a date set up for June 22nd. And I want to go a little bit deeper on that, not on this call, but for those of you that are going to want to participate and be proactive, we are going to have standard operating procedures. We are going to have, a step-by-step of what needs to be done leading up to the seminar, the week of the seminar, the days before the seminar, and then the day of the seminar. So, we already have that date set up. We're lining up the people, the lender, the inspector, the title company, the insurance agent, and the credit restoration person. So we're going to have 5 expert advisors present there for that day. We also talked about while I was in Colombia, I messaged you guys. I said, go to the courthouse. Now, this one, if you've done it, I want you to open up your mic and let me know. I don't know if you've done it or haven't done it, but again, I'm just curious. We talked about going to the courthouse. There's a lot of people right now who are in foreclosure. There's a lot of people right now that haven't paid their mortgage. Has anybody gone to the courthouse and found out how to get the list of homes that are in foreclosure?
Not me.
All right. Well, you want to get listings. That's a great way to get listings. So is there anything that has gotten in the way that someone would like to share that I can help you with?
Lucy, we talked about going around to the neighbors in the neighborhood or calling them. What is the best way to get their phone numbers to call these people? Because I want to say I heard that. I don't know if it was the podcast that I think it was on the podcast that you sent this morning. I heard them say that, and I was thinking, what's the best way to get some phone numbers to start calling some of these people in the neighborhood?
So are we talking about the people that are in foreclosure?
No, sorry.
Okay, all right. So we'll go hold that question, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat
Okay.
and I'll come back to that. I'm specifically talking about
Foreclosures.
the
Okay.
end of April. Yeah, just so you guys know, there are a lot of people that have fallen into list pendant status, which is in default of their mortgage. So going to the courthouse, you would be able to get a list of people that are in list pendants status, and you would be able to visit these people. Okay, hey, I was in the area, just wanted to stop by. Have you thought of selling your home? How long have you lived here? If you were to move, where would you go next? You know, there's so many ways of finding business. The problem is, are we in being intentional about doing it? Do we have the framework of our time, the framework of our, focus on a daily basis to be doing this? So let's scroll down, Talia, please. So we also talked about sending a video. Okay, building your 100-person database. Anybody have their 100 people database yet?
I'm close.
Okay, cool. How many more do you need for 100?
I have like 75.
So you need like another 25 people? Good, good. So guys, this is the magic. This is the magic of putting deals together. You need that database because that's going to be your focus, okay, on building massive production in a consistent and productive way. Now, I know that we get distracted, we get busy, we live in a world of constant distraction. I mean, we I don't know about you, but if I allowed things to distract me, I would be like a squirrel hunter.
Hmm.
So that's where the challenge comes in for each of us, and finding out or figuring out how we are really going to, put our head down and do those jam sessions. We gave you a schedule. We gave you guys a schedule that you could implement, whether it's 1 day a week, whether it's 2, 3 days a week, whatever it is. But those are the things that are going to help you make money. So we talked about sending videos to these people. There's 36 touches to every person. Okay. And then we also talked about focusing on your pipeline. Now, your pipeline is the people that are ready, willing, and able to do something. Does anybody have at least 25 people in their pipeline, people that are just ready, willing, and able to do something that you have personally spoken to? So these are people that you have personally spoken to. That means you send them a text, you send them a video, or you sent them an email. They responded, you responded, and you guys connected, and a conversation took place. Does anybody have?
Yes, but not that they wanted to do anything.
Okay, so those are not pipeline people. Those are database people.
Okay.
Pipeline people are people that are ready, willing, and able. Ready, willing, and able. So for example, they're ready to do something now. They're willing to do something, but maybe they've got to go through credit restoration. Maybe they've got to get their taxes in order. Maybe they need more time on the job. Maybe they need to wait a little longer because they're in a lease. There's something that is holding them back, but they're willing. And able, which means that once they get their ducks in a row, then they're able to buy. That is the pipeline. The pipeline is what is going to generate business for you. Once you've got people in your pipeline, then you have to categorize them. Okay, so are you looking to buy in the next 30 days? Are you looking to buy in the next 60 to 90 days? Are you looking to buy in the next year? And then where would you guys focus on?
30 to 60.
Immediate. Doesn't mean you're not going to pay attention to the people that are going to buy a year from now, but wouldn't you want to make money sooner than later? Raise your hand if you
Yeah.
want to make money sooner than later. So there is absolutely no lack of money-making activities. What there is a bunch of mental confusion, daily distractions, right? Stuff that gets in the way, lack of maybe planning, lack of strategizing, frameworking. I know for sure lack of hours in the day, right? We all need more time, but there's absolutely no lack of money making activity. So no one added any questions in the chat. So that means you guys have no questions.
So does listing count instead of buying?
Explain that to me. Break
As
that
a
down for me.
pipeline, as a client, getting them to list instead of buying, does that count? How does that go?
Anybody that is ready, willing, or able to
Okay.
do a real estate transaction counts
Okay,
in the pipeline. That's a great question. Anybody that
Okay.
is ready, willing, and able to do a real estate transaction. That is
okay.
your pipeline, but as long as they are ready,
Mhm.
yes, we've thought about it. Yes, we'd like to buy or sell. Yes, we're willing, but we've got to wait, or we're willing and we don't have to wait, or we're willing and we can do it right now. And yes, we're able to do it. We're able to do it because we are ready to do it.
Mhm.
That is your pipeline. So let me ask you this question. Does anybody have at least 10 people in their pipeline?
No, I've only had two to
Okay.
be on their list.
So here's the good news. You guys got a lot of work to do. So
Mm.
let me ask you this question. What is getting in the way of you guys getting to work faster, right? Like fast and furious. So let's go ahead and stop the screen sharing because you have to help me help you. I don't want to be talking at you. I want to talk with you. So let's do a round robin. If nobody has 10 people in the pipeline, and let me add to that, having people that are looking to lease. If you know someone that is looking to lease their property, you could make a commission on leasing. You can't do property management, but you could do. So does anybody have anything in the pipeline that's renting, leasing, selling, buying?
I have at least, I want to say at least like 6 or 7 people in the pipeline.
Okay, so I love that. So here's where I want to help you get to. You need to know exactly how many people you have, and you need to know them at least by first name. Because
Yeah, I have
that's
it. I have a Google sheet. I have it all on, but I don't have it
okay.
pulled up on my computer right now.
Okay, so that's going to show you the level of intentionality. So when you actually because here's what happens, right? We have to prime our brains to learn how to get into the that groove of productivity, right? So what I would tell you, and that's awesome. So you've got 6 to 7 people.
Yes.
Okay. And so now you want to have those people in front of you. You want to have those people constantly in front of you. I would take a picture of the Excel. I would put it on your phone. I mean, because now it's a matter of you training your brain to find these people business or to find them a home.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. Good job. See what happens when you hang around with me too long? Okay, what's getting in the way of all the rest of you? How can I help you? How can I serve you? Tell me how I can help you win.
I've only been able to convince two to list their lots. That's it.
So that's a great point, because here's the thing. This is like fishing. This is like looking for the big catch. We can't convince anybody. This is a numbers game. So it's all going to come down to your numbers. So if you've talked to 10 people, you're going to end up with 2 people. And here's how the numbers work. If you ended up with 2 people, I can tell you you've spoken to 10 people more or less. Because out of 10 people, 5 will say yes, 50% of those will do something. So it's the good news is Lucy's saying I need to have more conversations. Lucy's saying I need to talk to more people. Lucy's saying that I've got a lot of great opportunity. I just need to kick it into high gear. I've got to deliver this message to more people. Where are those people?
Yeah. A lot of the people I talk to own and aren't going anywhere.
Then you need to talk to more people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's been my main
There's a lot
result.
of people out there to talk to. That means you got to get out and you got to go talk to people. You got to get out of your box, break the box, and build a new box. A lot of times, and I swear I'm going to show you guys this video. I have to show you guys this video because one thing is for you to hear it from me, but it's something else when you hear it from, someone that is, training the top 2% of, let me see, hold on, give me 1 second. No, this is not. Okay, so that's, as you mentioned that, so what else? Tell me, what else is getting in the way? Guys, if we don't have 25 people in the pipeline 6 weeks later, something's getting in the way. How can I help you? I'm here to help you. If you don't want me to help you, let me go jump in my hot tub.
So I actually have some challenges. So not only am I a new agent, I'm also in a new area, and I don't have a lot of experience. The only house I ever, well, the only buyer I ever got a house for was my husband. So, you know what I mean? So I have.
So that's a
so
great
when
thing,
I go,
Diane. I love it. That means you don't have bad habits.
okay.
In the year 2000, I moved to Cape Coral with 2 little kids. They were twins. They were 8
Wow.
years old, and I didn't know anyone. I jumped on the phone every day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And my focus was to contact and speak to 30 people a day. And I found myself a partner, and we would do that 3 times a week from 9 a.m. to 11. So not knowing anyone, it's just a situation.
Right.
But the solution is you can get out there and meet people.
Mhm.
Right? There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Like I just said, you could go to the courthouse, you could get these reports, you
Mhm.
can go preview properties, you could do property showcases, you could walk around a neighborhood where you're going to hold an open house. So, these, and here's what I want to tell you guys. Every challenge has an answer. My question is, are you open-minded to be a problem solver? Because everybody can figure out the problem, right? Everybody
Mhm.
knows the problem.
Mhm.
Are you a problem solver?
Mhm.
And how good of a problem solver are you? Is your brain focused on solving the problem? So if you don't have 25 people in your pipeline, let me give you the easiest numbers. Talk to 5 people a day, 5 new people a day. That'll be 25 people a week if you only do it 5 days. That would have been 100 people since we got started with our agent meetups. If you had done 5 people a day, 5 days a week, 25 people a week, and we've been doing this for 5 weeks, that means you would have had 125 conversations. You would have at least 15 people ready, willing, and able in your pipeline.
So then how do you answer the question if it comes up, what have you sold, or, like what's your experience, or, et cetera? Because my fear is that when they find out, I'm not going to say, hey, I'm a new agent, da, da, da. But if they say, well, you haven't sold anything or whatever, how do you answer that? Or how do you respond so
can
that
I
it's in your
help you?
favor?
Can I help you? When you get out and preview 5 properties a week, you're going to
Mhm.
overcome that challenge.
Okay.
Because you're going to have more product knowledge than people that have been in real estate for 20 years because they don't get out and preview property 5 a week.
Okay.
See, that's why we are in such a great opportunity, because the brand new agent could outperform the agent that's been doing this for 20 years. The agent that's been doing this for 20 years is stuck in their comfort zone, right? In a rut. They don't want to change, or they're going through struggle because change is not easy and everybody's having to change right now.
Yeah.
And that's where you come in, right? Or you guys come in with more intentionality, and you know what? I'm going to preview 5 properties a week. That's going to give me more product knowledge than the average 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years agent in the business. So when you're speaking to a customer and you transmit your product knowledge, they're not going to think you've never sold anything, because you know more, you have more product knowledge than most agents. And that's how you outperform. You don't outperform by the number of sales you have had. You outperform by how you position yourself in the market and how you speak to your customers with knowledge.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
And your biggest challenge, guys, all of you, is massive action. I mean, if you really think back for the last 6 weeks and you like calculate your money making activity, I'm not talking about flyers. I'm not talking about putting out signs. That's all part of the job. That's administrative. I'm not talking about MLS.
Mm.
I'm not talking about profit. I'm talking about money making activity. Money making activity is what actually makes you money. Looking for the people, talking to the people, going out there and being the voice, being the messenger with the right message, right? Getting nose to nose, toes to toes, following up on those leads that you have, activating everybody you have on your phone.
Mm.
Your biggest problem is the 6 inches between your ears. My biggest problem is the 6 inches between my ears, right? Because we want to know the answer before we even take the first step, and that's not going to happen. I'd rather disappoint you now than disappoint you later. This takes blind faith. This takes get up, get out of the box, break the box, build a new box. I don't care. Look, I could be let me tell you this. This goes more for Diane, but it probably goes for all of us in one way or another. Even the Mike Dardas of the world, and if you don't know Mike Darda has been in the local real estate market since 1998, and he has been a top producer, whether the market is up, whether it's down, whether it's upside down, belly up, belly over, because the man is a robot. He gets up in the morning, he shows up at the office, he doesn't talk to anyone, he acts like a hermit, he dials every day for 3 hours, and he's a massive listing agent. That's all he does. That's all he does. Even Mike Darda has a higher level. So if Mike Darda has a higher level, wouldn't you guys agree we all should have a higher level? And that higher level is going to take higher commitment. It's going to take more work, but you got to get enthusiastic. You got to smile. You got to get obsessed with where you're going. Maybe not the process, but you got to get excited with where you're going. Because if you just focus on the problem, then you're magnifying that, and whatever you focus on expands, you know? So no one else has any other questions? If you don't, I'm done. I don't want to talk at you. I'm here to talk with you. So what other challenges do you guys have? If you don't have 25 people in the pipeline, what's getting in the way?
I mean, I said my circumstances is where I find I've got to talk to different people. I've had, I don't know, 50% of the people say, they have a home, they're not going anywhere. So
You
I
need
need
to
to,
talk to more people. So what's getting in the way? What's getting in the way? Help me to help you. What do you think is getting in the way? How many hours a day are you reaching out to people? Where are you finding these people?
well, I've pretty much called everybody on my phone or text them or whatever. And then the other ones that I didn't have phone numbers, I've been emailing. That I know you don't like the email, but when I have nothing but the email, I'm still gonna, throw it out there. And on my
Okay.
phone, I've been just except a few that I can't call. I called them.
So here's what I would recommend. There's dialing and there's talking. So you may have dialed everybody on your phone, and I trust that. But just because you dialed everyone on your phone, does that mean you have spoken? And guys, we don't
No,
have conversations unless somebody answers the phone. So
no. Of course, I
so
haven't
have you
talked to
dialed
everybody.
or have you spoken?
I have dialed everybody. I've left messages, but
You
I have
keep
not talked to
calling,
everyone.
you keep
Yeah.
calling, you keep
Yeah.
calling, you keep calling, you call at different hours, you text at different hours, you do it
Mhm.
different times. Why? Because it's not people's responsibility to be wait. Look, the good news is you still have so much opportunity and possibilities. It's a
I've
matter of
gotten blocked.
the high gear. Huh?
I've gotten blocked.
Good. That's a good problem. Now you have one less person to worry. How about you, Michelle? You need no help? Jeanette, you need no additional help?
No, I do. Well, of course I need help. But I feel like I'm making progress. I do have people in my pipeline. Some of those people are greater than 30 days out. So,
Okay.
I'm just kind of waiting for those things to roll out. In fact, I had somebody reach out to me last night that, oops,
What's that?
I didn't know if I did that. I was like, whoa, what happened?
Drug
I
addiction
had,
is the
oh.
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna share you guys this
Um,
video and we're finishing out. I think, listen, we all need to hear these things. Something has to kick us into high gear. And the reason I keep talking about high gear is because now we are on our way down. You know, May is over, Monday is a holiday. Now, I mean, we have to kick it into high gear if you really want to close out the year with some awesome results. Okay, so I don't want to prolong it anymore. I know I'm meeting with some of you tomorrow. Diane, this is what our conversation is all about. There's nothing else to talk about but productivity. You know, when we go out and have dinner together, we talk about everything and anything, but you know, we are all on the path to wanting to make money. So Michelle, you were saying you have people in your pipeline.
I do. Let me. So I'm working on things. I'm trying to increase that pipeline. I do have other things that I'm working on. That, you know, when you say there's not enough time in the day, because I feel like I'm going, and there's not enough time. So, but could I be doing more? Yes, I could be doing more when I'm sleeping. Damn it, less sleep and more work. But let me ask you this. So, in regards to our database, like, where does KV Core come in? Do those leads is that separate than our database, or are those, can that be considered part of our database because, you know, we're kicking out the emails and video texts and things like that?
So are you talking about the KV Core for the company leads?
Yeah.
No,
Or is
that's
that a separate
no,
database?
that's not your database. Your database is the people that you self-generate. Those
Okay.
could become part of your pipeline once you get them to, you know, making a decision to work with you. So
So
those,
keep them as two separate databases.
yes, KV Core is the CRM and your database is your database. Now, you have a KV Core for yourself. So you could take your people and put it in your KV Core if you want to set them up on a drip campaign. But you don't want to commingle, you know, the Whitley leads or any leads that you're getting from the company with your own.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thanks for the answer. That's why I love you guys asking me questions, because that helps me. So this is John Cheplack. He is my coach, my favorite coach. I've been working with him since 2015. I want you guys to hear what he is going to be sharing, because this is going on all around the nation. That's why 90,000 real estate agents already threw in the towel, you know, and that's why we're connecting every Monday at 6:30 so that we can continue to scale and find solutions to our hurdles, which we all have. So let me.
drug addiction is the #1 killer of your business. And let me explain. It's John Cheplack, and you know the statistics of small businesses that fail, independent contractors that fail, just business as a whole, people who struggle and fail in a lot of things that they want to get done. And there's a drug that's actually killing the vision of people, killing their goals, and it's called hopium. Let me say it again, hopium. People waking up and they're on this constant journey of hope. And I'm going to promise you this, and I remember a mentor of mine said this to me back in 2000. And he'd asked me a question, asked, you know, what do you think the result's going to be? Do you think you can deliver a result? I forget exactly what the question was, but I do remember my response, and I remember clearly what he said to me. I said, I hope so. And he said, hope is hopelessness. Here's the challenge is people are waking up every day with hope and not conviction. They're two totally different things. Hope versus conviction. And things don't work out, so they hope tomorrow's better. And they hope the interest rates will change, and they hope inventory will change, and they hope economy will change, and they hope that their president is in the White House, and they hope the other president isn't in the White House. Everything is based on this drug of hopium. And it is this cycle, it is a loop. And here's what I want to share with you is that, nothing's going to save you. No one's going to save you. You've heard it over and over and over again. The only thing that is going to save you, or the only thing that is going to keep you on your path or get you on your path and get you across the finish line to create that new standard. Because, when you hit a goal, that's the problem with goals too, is that people think they've arrived. And, listen, it's nice to enjoy and appreciate your accomplishments when you hit an accomplishment, but the next step is to recognize that that's just a new standard. See, the good news about accomplishing something is you accomplished it. The bad news is that's the new standard that you've got to stand on the back of. But you can't just hope that you're going to do better the next day. What you must have is a crystal clear vision. Okay, great vision. And you've got goals, and you've got all these great big dreams, but then you've got to detach from those and get really, really clear. It's funny, over the years, I've heard it for 20 plus years. Yeah, 20 plus years when I first got in coaching. Oh, it's Chef Black. He's going to talk about mindset. Oh, it's just mindset. It's just mindset. And I always come back to people and I say, well, let me ask you this. Tell me if you are consistent in the daily fundamental core business activities that you must be doing to experience the outcome that you want in business. Blank stares. Well, because everyone's living on hopium and you all need a little bit of rehab. And here's the rehab you need to go to. I was in New York. It was kind of one of those rare occasions. I mean, I'll go into conferences and speak, and I pop in and I pop out. I'm not going to go out to a bunch of dinners and hang out and socialize a bunch. It's just not my thing. Just not. I mean, I'm pretty precise on. And listen, it's nice to do some networking and spend time with people, but I'm always precise, and I'm really looking clearly at everything. It's like, does everything that I do, the people, the places, and the things, do they support the mission? And that's what I want to bring you back to. See, I don't have to hope for anything. What I have to do is I have to be crystal clear on my mission. And so I'm going to take you back to it. I've shared it a lot in the last year on stages. My MVP, most valuable player, MVP. Well, that's not what it is. The MVP is your mission, your values, and your principles. What are they? And do you live by them? Like, the biggest reasons people don't take action is fear and overwhelm. And then you'll hear the one of, well, and I've got imposter syndrome. No, you do not. You're living on hope. You're not living in conviction. And the reason you're not living in conviction is because you're not crystal clear on where you're going. And then you don't have the foundation. See, a lot of people trying to put a roof on a house that doesn't have a frame. Think about that. You look at lead conversion, okay? And people wanted to use all these science projects. And you've got people, it's so overcomplicated that people can't just focus on the core fundamental tasks that needs to take place in lead conversion or in recruiting, right? Well, because they think they've got all these different decisions they have to make. And you know what? You've got to make one decision every single day. Number one is, what is your mission? And being clear on it, reviewing it, and have it just be a part of you. And what are your values? And what are your principles? Mission, values, principles. Mission, values, principles. Mission, values, principles. It's the only thing you have to visit. Instead of waking up aimlessly and in wonderment on that fatal drug of hopium. And I've got a solution for you. I've got the rehab solution for you. What is your mission? Serve, lead, inspire people who want to have a positive life experience as a result of real estate business. Cool. Values: fun, love, dignity, respect, humility, vulnerability, transparency, and volunteerism. Cool. Principles. Principles are law. Okay. Personal responsibility, accountability, commitment, contribution. Really simple. See, I don't care about anything else except for staying true to those foundational pieces, the MVP. Because otherwise you're just going to sit around in wonderment. You're going to blame things, and you're going to just keep taking that hopium every single day. You're taking the hopium, get rid of it, man. Hope is hopelessness. You've got to have conviction that is supported with mission, values, principles. That's where the results are.
That's where the results are. I
Wow.
could not have said it better myself. So let's grab a mission, right? Let's set your own values, like the stuff that you will not allow yourself not to do, like your minimum standard. What is your minimum standard? You know, what is your minimum standard? Like, we don't even know what our minimum standard is. Like, I'm putting together this event next week. And I told Talia last week, I'm like, there's no way we're going to have this event with only 3 sponsors. There's no way. That's beneath my minimum standard. Like, that is so Mickey Mouse. It's embarrassing. Like, heck no. And I dug my heels in and I rolled up my sleeves and I got to work. I got to work. And I worked the whole weekend. Go on my social media. My last post was last night at 9:00 at night. And now we have 8 premier sponsors in less than a week. So what is your minimum standard for yourself? Because see, we shortchange ourselves more than we shortchange anybody else. Right? So values is that. What is your minimum standard? What is non-negotiable for you? Like Talia knows, I tell her, this is not negotiable. You know, not being committed to our business is not negotiable. Not being consistent is not negotiable. Mediocrity or excellence is not. Listen, to me, excellence is wiping down the lid at the office, the trash lid. Talia knows, wiping down the sink. That's like, to me, that's excellent. To me, that shows like, man, you walk in here, even the sink is clean. But we've been programmed to just do just enough. Right? So that's what he means by values. And principles. Principles are our core values: excellence, diligence, integrity, team-spirited, collaborative, contributive, you know, coachable, trainable. And every time Talia and I go against our principles and we cut people slack, we get screwed. Because we're not serving that person with excellence. And that's the truth. It's like I tell Talia, I'm not serving you with excellence if I don't come here and deliver the things that are the hardcore truth. Like, you get off this call and you may not sleep, but you're going to eventually get ignited. Eventually, you're going to be like, I'm sick and tired of shortchanging myself. I'm sick and tired of not giving myself. Like, we give other people more than we give ourselves. That's why people with a job work harder for somebody else's empire than they do for themselves. And I don't want my business partners to end up being other people empire builders. Like, if you're going to jump and say how high, do it for you. Because you're building a legacy. Because you're building a future. Because you're building a brand. You are the brand. Because you're building a name. You are the name. And everything you do, say, act, perform it's a representation of you. So that's what he means by MVP. You know? So I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you got something out of today. All right?
Hey, Lucy.
All righty, guys. Have a good night. I appreciate you all.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for inviting
Appreciate
me.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.